Hello, everybody. Welcome to Full Time Sports Network. Welcome to THFC Till I Die. It's just me. Dermo sends his apologies. He's having internet issues, so he's not available at the moment. But he's trying to get that sorted as quick as he can. And obviously, once it's sorted, he will be back. There was a scheduled show for today. Unfortunately, because of that, we've had to cancel. But we have this. Pochettino has been sacked from Chelsea. It's kind of come out of nowhere. I think everybody kind of knew it was going to happen eventually. We just didn't reckon it was going to happen just yet. Now, I've spoken to a couple of people in regards to how it's happened, why it's happened, and the feedback I'm getting from it is he's been sacked because the project under Pochettino has been deemed a failure. He's been sacked because he's underachieved. Finishing sixth for Chelsea was not good enough for him to keep his job. Chelsea are going to appoint a big name to take over Pochettino. Who it is, we don't know yet. Obviously, there's names like Thomas Tuchel flying about and everything like that. We just don't know who it is at the moment. But as soon as we do know, we will let you guys know as well. Obviously, I've streamed this over to THFC Till I Die as well, because I know obviously he was part of Tottenham history in the past. And I'd like to get your guys' thoughts as well. A lot of people, when we first did it, when we first announced it, I think a lot of people were very angry with Potch, and they said, it's not the right job for him, this, that, and the other. It's just one of those things. But apparently it has been coming. It was decided a while ago as well. I just want to say big up to Tequila. They can go get Lampard back. I don't think they'll get Lampard back, mate. It's going to be somebody big, to be fair. Just to give a bit of a rundown of Potch's time at Chelsea. Tequila saying he's a snake, looks like the head was cut off. Well, yeah. But yeah, Chelsea's reign under Pochettino. Pochettino recruited 13 players at the club. Well, sacked, left, sacked. A lot of reports are saying sacked. Poch will join Barca. Okay. I don't know whether he will, because I know Barca are touting up a couple of other options. But Pochettino, in his tenure at Chelsea, recruited 13 players that spent more than 400 million in the summer. Some of these players range from Moises Caicedo, Vitinha. There's a long list. There's a very, very long list, to be fair. Lavia, Nkunku, Cole Palmer, who was actually a fantastic signing, to be fair, for Chelsea. And it just hasn't seemed to work for Potch there, which is a shame. Like I said, this was last minute, so there's not going to be a lot of information because we don't have a lot of information. It's literally just happened probably 20 minutes ago, if that. But I have got the comparisons. I'm sure when Dermo is back, he'll be able to go more in depth in regards to it. But Potter versus Pochettino, obviously Pochettino took over for Potter. Both 31 games. Pochettino won 14 out of his 31, where Graham Potter won 12. Draws 8 for Potter, 6 for Pochettino. Both 11 losses. And Pochettino's win percentage was actually better as well, with 45.16%. Obviously, there's people here saying not sacked. Like I said, Poch will join Barcelona. He will become King Cobra, Snake of Snakes, and Tequila saying Cobra Commander. I want to get your guys' thoughts. Have Chelsea pulled the trigger too soon? Was it time? Was it inevitable? I know a lot of people were saying that Poch should be the first one to go this summer anyway. Well, I think it was last season he was down. A lot of people had him to get sacked very, very quickly. But he's managed to ride it out, and he did get sixth place. I think looking at it, it could have been a lot worse. I understand they've spent a lot of money as well, and it hasn't returned anything. it's one of those. But this is Todd Bowley that we're talking about here. You know, he's very quick when it comes to shooting first and asking later. I'm just going to see if there's any more. I'm just going to see if there's any more stuff anywhere. I don't think there is, Let's have a look. So I'm just looking now. I mean, it doesn't seem like it. Obviously, Pochettino was linked with Manchester United in the summer. He's probably going to get linked again now, to be fair. Greg Excellent, welcome, mate. How are you doing? Hope you're fine. Imagine he can't get a proper job, so he has to come back to us with cap in hand and become Angen's assistant. Well, you never know. You never know, to be fair. Chelsea, a bit of a joke club, but have been... Well, yeah, we know this. We really do know this. Potch will never join Barcelona. He's an Espanyol fan. Persona non grata. Exactly. Chris, big up Chris. He's saying, didn't expect this after the way they finished the season. Something clearly going on. Chelsea clearly going to get punished for FFP. That's why Potch has left, in my opinion. This stinks of De Zerbi going to Chelsea. What I do know is, a little bit, is somebody has paid the fee for De Zerbi. And it's not. I think it's worked out about 5 million. They cut the price in half. It was going to be 10 million. His release clause. He's paid 5. Someone's paid 5 million, but I don't believe it's an English club that's going to do it. I think it's going to be like Italian or something like that. Possibly Italian, maybe even Spanish. We don't actually know. The club is keeping it very tight-lipped. De Zerbi's next club is keeping it very tight-lipped in a minute, so we don't actually know. We're timing both now. I do understand what you're getting at there. I do. It's a bit coincidental, but I don't think it's going to be De Zerbi. They are going for a massive manager, to be fair. And like I said, I did say it earlier in the show, Potch has been relieved of his duties simply because they've underachieved. Chelsea have underachieved in the eyes of Todd Bowley. And the project with Pochettino has been deemed a failure in their eyes. I mean, when your owner gets involved in everything that you do, it was always going to happen, I believe. So people just talk to each other evening. Good evening, Colin Cross. Hope you're doing well, mate. He says, even all the season that keeps on giving. Yep, exactly. It never stops. Never stops. Born to Lose 73, he says, my dream would be if they appoint John Terry to unite the fan base and he takes them down. No, it's not going to be a John Terry. From what I know, like I said earlier on as well, we don't know who is going to take it over. This was apparently decided a few months ago. So regardless of the results recently, I think they already had this in mind for Pochettino to part ways this summer. And Chelsea are going to go in for a big name manager. We don't know who it is at the moment, but like I said earlier, as soon as we find out who it is, we will be here to let you know who it is, and we'll get talking about that as well. Where does Poch go next? Is he in the running for United? I mean, you probably can't rule him out, to be fair. But I mean, I don't want him at United. I really, really don't. Tequila is saying Dermo's internet problems means no shows tonight, lads. We're sorry, but Colm came on to have a laugh at Potch. Yes, I did. It broke, and I was like, do you know what? I'll just cover it. And like I said, I know he's linked with Tottenham, so I thought I'd bring you guys in as well. Meta TV saying Bowley, the naive American dreamer. Exactly, he is. Mick says hello to Tequila. Hello, Mick. Hope you're well. That's fair enough from Bowley, but I don't know. To be honest, I think it's slightly harsh. See, this is what I'm kind of thinking as well. He did very, very well at Chelsea the last couple of games anyway. He's managed to get him into Europe as well. So it's a bit of a harsh one, I think, as well. But, this is football. Football's a results-driven business, and Poch just hasn't done it, for most of the season, he's not been very good. This is what we have to remember. I mean, it's people are saying Potch has left Chelsea. People are saying he's been sacked. There's that many different variations, to be fair. It has happened with immediate effect. And Chelsea and Pochettino have already agreed on the terms. And apparently Chelsea are going to try and hire a young manager as a replacement. So, this could be interesting there. I read that as native. So I read it as native to begin with. That's why I had to just look at it again. Tequila saying, hi, Mick. Hope you and your son are feeling better. Colin Cross, has Allegri been sacked at Juve? Poch could go. Poch could potentially go there. As far as I'm aware, let me just double check. Sorry, like I said, there's been nothing ready because I wanted to jump on this as much as possible. So they are contenders for the replacement of Max Allegri. I don't think Poch's name was actually included in that, to be honest with you. But it very well might do. Now he's a free agent, We are good. Fiona is shocked. And Joe saying, what young big names are out there? Well, I think the favourite big name really is probably Nagelsmann. To be fair, but I mean, would he take on the job at Chelsea? Would he really take on a job at Chelsea? I don't think so, to be fair. And we've got to think, when we say young, it might mean something a little bit different to just age. Alonso's 41, Slot's 45, Sebastian Hoeneß, who's at Stuttgart, he's 41. Farioli, Nice, he's 34. Williams still, he's 31. He's at Reims. Thiago Motta, 41 at Bologna. Jago, there are quite a lot of young. We wouldn't say young, but young. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot. Nagelsmann renewed with Mineshaft. Well, there you go then. Almiron. I'm guessing that's that sporting manager, possibly. We don't know who it is at the minute. So he's saying Nagelsmann turned him down. I think Nagelsmann did turn him down. I'm just going to see if there's any names already being linked. Let's have a look. Just like I said, just bear with me, guys. Let's see if there are any new names. Apparently there were a crisis talk as well, to be fair. But that'll be interesting. Here we go. Next Chelsea manager. So these are who the bookies have. So these are from the bookies. Hansi Flick is there. De Zerbi, but I don't think he's going to be going. Ruben Amorim is on there. Jose Mourinho is on there. Victor Kompany's on there. Don't think Vincent Kompany, will go there. But Hansi Flick is the favourite at the moment. I don't think they'll go back for Potter either, to be fair. Some people saying hello to each other. David Moyes. You never know. David Moyes at Chelsea. Could you imagine? Amorim was twerking for West Ham, but then went back to Sporting. Could he do it again? I mean, there's a possibility. There is a possibility Amorim could do it again. Jose back for a third time? No, I don't think so. Happy now Potcher's gone. He was turning them around 100%. No Potter. I don't think they'll go for Gerrard either, to be fair. I don't think Gerrard will take the job, if I'm going to be honest with you. Amarin has already said he's staying. Yes, he has, but will he continue to say he's staying if a club like Chelsea come in for him? Because there's a bit of a difference between West Ham and Chelsea. Now, I know Chelsea have fallen off a little bit, but Chelsea is still the bigger name club in those two. And, every manager has a little bit of ego about them. Chelsea are this broken club, and the next manager will be the guy that wants to fix things, wants to fix Chelsea. Exactly the same way a lot of things, to be fair. Terry Wright, big up Terry. He's saying, I can't but wonder if FFP violations hammer is going to fall and Potch is getting the hell out. Possibly. That is very, very possible, to be fair. Chelsea are in a world of trouble when it comes to FFP. They've overspent massively, and something will happen with it. So maybe he did decide he wanted to jump ship very, very quickly. Too small of a club for Gerrard. Potch sacked. Chelsea still clueless, I see. The owners, yep, he's gone. Potch, it's people have put it out there as him being sacked. Obviously, that's what I've seen, so that's what I've gone with. But according to reports that I have been reading up on, they've agreed to part ways amicably. All this and all that. But whether they're just saying that to keep face, we don't know. Yeah, Hansi Flick is reportedly interested in the job. Well, he's the bookie's favourite at the minute. Flick is the bookie's favourite. Big Sam on his way to Chelsea. I don't think so. Meta Barcelona turned us down. Going to say yes to the Chelsea. You never know. You don't know what's going to happen, do you? You never know. Football's a funny thing. Thomas Frank, possibly. I reckon Thomas Frank could do a job there personally. Get Lampard back in now. I heard mutual consent. Yeah, as I've been looking through a little bit more, I've seen it say mutual consent as well. So I will change the thumbnail and the title and everything as well. But yeah, when it's come up originally, it was all sack. So it'd be a bit interesting. Potch to Bayern to reunite with Kane. Maybe. I don't think Bayern would take Potch. He's failed at Chelsea, he failed at PSG, he failed at Tottenham. It's a bit of a... I don't know. Tuchel could always go back to Chelsea now. He could. Tuchel could. I know he's touting himself out to every single club that needs a manager at the minute. So that is a possibility. Conte to Chelsea, that could be another one. But I think Conte is a little bit too old to fit into what they're looking for and apparently what's happening. Thomas Frank's in talks with Bayern. A lot of people are in talks with Bayern, to be fair. So, yeah. Tuchel Conte back at the bridge. Conte to Napoli. Keep an eye on that one, possibly. I hope Potch goes to Bayern Munich. Interesting. And hello, Louis. Boris Britt. Potch wasn't getting what he wanted, as he wanted to have a say in the transfers. What is the one thing he wanted? Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a dictatorship at Chelsea. That's what it is now. So there's not a lot that you can do about it. If your boss is in charge and he's wanting to decide on things, then I don't know. Tequila saying, okay, Southgate to United, Ten Hag to Chelsea. Gareth Southgate is no longer in the running to manage Manchester United. He's agreed to stay on at England for the England national team, at least for the next 2 years. But it all depends on how the Euros go as well. So Ten Hag won't be going. Well, Ten Hag might go to Chelsea because his job will be announced next week whether he stays or goes, from what I've heard there. So I thought De Zerbi for Chelsea. Brian, big up, mate. I hope you're doing well. No, from what I know, De Zerbi is potentially going abroad somewhere. Like I said earlier as well, Somebody's paid a £5 million release clause. It was supposed to be 10, but Brighton have lowered it to 5. Now, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together and possibly making 7. I don't think they would do that for an English club. So I don't think it is an English club. I think it's somebody overseas. And obviously, there was the link that was brought out because obviously De Zerbi. Just seeing if I can remember to find it somewhere. Where is it? Let's have a look. Yeah. So there was a little thing on Twitter when there were an interview taking place in Bayern Munich. Their owner or whoever it is that deals with that kind of thing was asked if it was De Zerbi, and he basically replied, not giving anything away. And then he was asked, "Is your next manager Italian?" Of which he replied to yes. Obviously, De Zerbi is Italian. Like I said, I'm probably putting 2 and 2 together and making 6 or 7, but it seems like it is more of a De Zerbi kind of wave that Bayern want, so it might be De Zerbi going to Bayern. But again, we don't know. Meta Football is saying if transfer / Potch is true, RBZ isn't going to Chelsea then. We'll have to wait. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait. Boris Britt is saying, I swear Bowley is playing FM with editor on the amount of money and just firing managers non-stop. Maybe. To be fair, maybe. RDZ, yep. I thought Potch was doing a good job. Potch was doing a good job at the end, but apparently, like I said, from the people I've managed to get a hold of and to speak to who know a lot more about the ins and outs than what I do, apparently this was decided months ago that Potch was going to go at the end of the season. That this was apparently decided. So I don't think any kind of results would have mattered, to be fair. Brian Maguire was actually going to be scared of Chelsea since we saw Potch getting Chelsea into form. Well, yeah, now back to the drawing board for him. Back to the drawing board. Colin Cross is saying De Zerbi to Ajax. Again, we don't know where De Zerbi is going. I am trying to find out exactly where he's going, but they have got it so under lock and key. They're not really letting anything kind of leak out at all. Terry Wright saying Allegri. Again, is a possible one, but I don't think Allegri will be the guy. To be fair, like I said, at the moment it's Hansi Flick. He's the current favourite with the bookies. So I don't know. I don't know with that one. But obviously, this is going to change a lot of the transfer strategy as well. Now, I know obviously Tottenham was interested in Gallagher, but does this now mean Gallagher stays at Chelsea because obviously they've got no manager at the moment, and obviously the new manager will want to assess his squad. All this, it changes a lot of different cogs in the wheel. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that for you guys as well. He saved the scumming. Well, football is bonkers. It is, Wilton. It really, really is. Boris is saying, I thought Chelsea would have been a threat to Europe. I'm now laughing at Chelsea seeing them crumble yet again. Again, we don't know who it is who's going to be in charge. They could have literally the next big thing. We don't know who. I mean, it could be anybody. Zinedine Zidane might walk through the door. We don't know at the moment because obviously this has just happened. I'm sure over the next couple of days we will find out exactly who it is that's going to be coming in to replace him. And obviously we're going to be here to give you the news pretty much straight away, as soon as we can. Wayne Bod is saying could be interested to see if Gallagher stays at Chelsea with Potch going. Yeah, I've just spoke about that, Wayne. It will be interesting to see what actually happens in regards to the Gallagher thing now, because I know obviously Tottenham are linked with him. Sorry, Dermo's sending me messages as well. Bear with me 1 minute. We're going to have a friend on with me. I think Tequila's going to join in. be fair. So we'll keep an eye on it for you. I don't think it's going to hamper the deal as much. But again, like I said, the manager, the new manager is going to want to assess everything. So it might take a little bit longer for it actually come in. But Chelsea have to sell. They have to sell to bring out the FFP down. How is Demo? He's fine, Colin. He's just a little bit annoyed at the minute. His internet's been down all day, so he's not been able to come on to do the show that he had planned, unfortunately. But he will be back as soon as he can. Kieran McKenna is a top 2 target for Chelsea. Kieran McKenna would be good, but I don't think Kieran McKenna will go to Chelsea, to be fair. It's a bit of a jump in my eyes anyway. It's a bit of a jump to go up to Chelsea. Again, football's a funny thing. We just do not know what's happening in the world of football. Hold on 1 minute. Here we go. Let's bring Tequila in. I've just sent him the link. If you're in the chat, Tequila, the link's in there for you, mate. Deserve to Juventus. Again, we don't know. All we know is that it's a foreign club that appears to be a foreign club that has put the money in there to get him out of Brighton. That's all we know at the moment. They're keeping it very tight-lipped, as I said. So yeah, there we go. RS saying here, big up RS by the way. He's saying Chelsea needs Sean Dyche, proper fella. He's the best English manager right now. He'll make 4-4-2 cool again. Maybe Chelsea need to look at somebody. I know it sounds crazy and everything, but Chelsea need to look at somebody like that. Possibly. Just somebody to come in and steady the ship. Maybe or something like that. And here is Tequila. Hey, Tequila, how you doing, mate? You'll be there in a minute. Hold on. Wayne Bonner, I doubt Gallagher stays since he was starting in and out. This is what I mean. We don't know. We don't actually know what's going to happen now, because every manager wants to have a look at the squad before he decides what's going to happen. Every manager that comes in doesn't just come in and get rid of players. But again, it might be a case of Todd Bowley taking over, and this could be an issue for whatever manager comes in. If Todd Bowley is going to take over everything, then it's going to be a massive, massive issue. So it all depends, to be fair.
There you come.
How are you doing, Tequila?
Not bad, mate. Thought I'd just jump in to help you out. How's everything in the chat? Nice to see you all.
Yeah. Your thoughts, Tequila? Whoa. Pochettino gone.
Well, if you remember, we wanted Poch a lot. Well, okay, not all of us, but a lot of us wanted Poch back before we got Ange. There was a lot of us did let's take Poch back, and then he agreed to go to Chelsea when it appeared Levy wasn't prepared to talk to him. So we can all kind of take the piss a little bit, but I think there was a large number of us who actually want him back before we obviously got in Ange. Not so much anymore. So It's a little bit sweet. It's like a lot of us do remember a lot of Poch's time with us quite fondly, and we got to several cup finals, just couldn't quite cross the line. But then you go and join Chelsea, and it's like, no, that's kind of one of maybe 2 clubs in the world, which I don't think most of us fans can handle you managing. So it's a bit bittersweet. I'm not that unhappy about it. I thought to be fair, the first half of the season, they were kind of all over the place, but they really did pick up. Ended up finishing 6th, only 3 points behind us in the 5th, and obviously finished better than your lads as well. Yeah. So he didn't do a bad job. I'm actually a bit surprised in the end. I thought he would have done enough to give him another year, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, football's such a funny game. One minute you think everything's fine, next minute, this happens. But like I was saying, it seems to have been, planned by Todd and the team up at Chelsea months ago. Whether or not that's 100% bang on the money, I trust the person I get my information from with all my heart. It's never gone wrong for me whatsoever. So I'm going to live and die by his sword. I mean,
it makes you think though, Com, doesn't it? It's like, okay, so he ended up getting 6. What was his remit at the start of the season? Did they really think that they were going to top 4? Is that a fair assumption? That he was told what they couldn't have been as crazy as said to him, "Oh, by the way, Potch, yeah, we expect you to be challenging for the title right away." I mean, they couldn't really have thought that, could they?
Sure. I mean, we don't know with Todd Bowley's mind, to be fair, but I mean, if you was Todd Bowley and I was Pochettino and you gave me 400 million to spend, what would you be? What would your aspirations be for the club that season?
400 million. I mean, in today's market, higher than 6, I suppose. To answer your question, as far as that being as basic as that, yeah, I suppose, yeah, 400 million. Yeah, you should be higher than 6, probably. Yeah, don't know, Champions League, maybe 4th. Maybe
I think top 4. I think top 4 was probably their target. I know they wanted to go. They probably did want a challenge, but I mean, Chelsea are miles behind. Just like what Manchester United are, the two big clubs that have just fell off, they're miles behind, and I think people need to realise this season was never going to be a top 4 finish for Chelsea. I mean, there's loads and loads and loads of comments coming in, loads of comments.
I mean, they are a young team though, Com. So there is a lot of potential there. They're just not quite ready yet.
Yeah. I mean, I just worry about the next person that's coming in.
Well, look, I'm a Spurs fan, as you know, obviously. We go for our managers like hot dinners. The only 2 clubs I can think of who go for managers faster than us are Watford and Chelsea. So,
yeah, that's true. That is very, very true. I mean, when Dermo first found out about Poch going to Chelsea, he was annoyed. He was like, I'm annoyed, but I still like him. And then as soon as I told him that Poch kissed the badge, that were it. Dermo did not care anymore. Got a couple of comments as well.
It was surreal seeing him manage Chelsea at the Lane, at our stadium. Of course, still call it the Lane, our stadium, because obviously of the whole battle of the bridge and everything. It was surreal. I can't lie.
On the enemy line, yeah. We've got, like I said, we've got loads and loads of comments. We are going to get to them as soon as we can, guys. Jessica's saying, fine order looking, could use slot money for De Zerbi. Possibly. Very, I don't know about that, though. Mike Bassett to Chelsea from Wayne Bonner. Okay. Mauricio Pochettino wanted a new contract that reflected a long-term project and wanted a say in transfers. Yes, he did want a say in transfers, but that is not the way Todd Bowley runs things, apparently. Like I said, this was probably decided months ago. Leah, hello Leah, as she said, should never have gone there. He was always on a hiding to nothing because he is so closely identified with Spurs, which means a lot of Chelsea would not accept him.
It's true. They would. I don't know how much he would have had to have done before they would have embraced him. Maybe in the league or something.
I mean, you probably would have had to do a quadruple, to be fair.
Yeah.
Wayne Bonner, wash your mouth out with soap. No, you wouldn't. Don't want him anywhere near.
Wouldn't you take him then? You wouldn't take Poch?
No.
You would have before, though, wouldn't you? Before he went to Chelsea, were you?
Nope.
Okay. I thought you guys would have taken him before we went there.
No, in the battle of in the battle of, I've got Tottenham on mine now. In the battle of Ten Hag and Poch, I was very, very much behind Ten Hag, and I did not want Poch anywhere near the club. So I'm not going to change now.
You still feel that way? You still would rather Ten Hag than Poch?
Yes, I would still rather have Ten Hag than Poch.
Okay.
I'm deluded. It's fine. Giant Rabbit saying they were unbeaten in 13 games. Why sack him? Answers in a postcard, I think.
You would have thought they would have sacked him halfway through the season when they were so far off the pace, rather than him then improving and then sacking him anyway.
I mean, you would have thought so. It would have made more sense to sack him halfway through the season.
You might as well have, yeah, if this was the end result. Then.
But I really don't understand.
What was Bailey? Let's say it got to January. What was Bailey thinking, that Chelsea were going to win every game from that and finish what, second or third? Is that what you thought was still going to happen in January when you could have sacked him?
This is what I mean. I just really don't understand. I mean, I've still got the stats up between obviously Potter and Potch, and apart from start distance meter wise and goals conceded, XG of goals conceded, Potch has just been better in everything.
Yeah,
it's not even bad. His stats aren't even bad. It was 1.93 goal XG goals, which is decent for a team. 1.65 goals a game, 3.48 build-up attacks, 9.65 turnovers, 171.35 in pressure. Kilometers that they've covered, 107 kilometers. 1.35 points per game.
If he wouldn't have been Spurs manager, then do you think they wouldn't have sacked him?
I think so. I think the Spurs
thing alone. So it's only the Spurs thing then.
I think it might not be. It might just be Todd Bowley thinking, like what people said, he's playing FM with editor switched on. You don't know. Football's a really, really weird game.
The only thing I used the editor for on Football Manager, for the record, was to improve Ledley King's stats. That's all I ever used it for.
The only thing I've only used it once. Well, I've used it a couple of times, but that's for like little things, challenges that I do so I can sort players out on teams. But the only time I've ever really used it was, I think I created Emil Heskey because he's not on the game anymore. I just wanted to see how he'd do. I gave him all the stats and everything in his last season, but he was a younger version of himself.
Cloned a young Emil Heskey to be in.
Yes, I did, because I just think Emil Heskey is funny. The compo Potch has received. I don't know. I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it's somewhere around 17 million. Compo.
Not bad, is it? That's not bad.
I mean, it's not bad at all, to be fair. I'm just seeing if they have put anything up. Oh, there is a club statement.
What have they said?
So the club statement is: Sporting directors Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley said, on behalf of everyone at Chelsea, we would like to express our gratitude to Maurizio for all his services this season. He will be welcome back to Stamford Bridge at any time, and we wish him all the best in his future coaching career. Pochettino has come out and said thank you to Chelsea ownership group and sporting directors for the opportunity to be a part of this football club's history. The club is now well positioned to keep moving forward in the Premier League and Europe in the years to come. Jesus Perez, Miguel Angustio, and Tony Jimenez and Sebastian Pochettino have left the club with Maurizio as well. The club will be making no further comment until a time a new coach has been appointed.
Okay.
No, I don't think they know what's going on. I don't think they know what's going on either.
No,
to be fair.
I suppose you can say at least they've done it early. I mean, they didn't waste any time, did they? True.
That is very, very true. They just got on with it straight away.
Right.
Yeah, now I'm just trying to see. I mean, I'm going to stop scrolling through Twitter because everyone's asking for Tuchel to come back.
Really?
Okay. Yep. Boris Britt's saying, but Poch didn't get 400 million given to him. He didn't really get a say. Yeah, I mean, I said this earlier. Todd Bowley and his team and the recruitment team have done everything, which hasn't helped Pochettino at Chelsea at all.
Those infamous club signings, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they always are. I mean, thank you everybody for the comments. I mean, they keep coming in and I'm trying to catch up and I'm getting so far behind again. Poch gave it straight after Chelsea beat Spurs at the Bridge. He called out the board. Never call out the board. It never ends well. Poch never really implemented his style at Chelsea, so I'm wondering why. I mean, you obviously know Poch a lot better than what I do. Obviously, with him being Tottenham, ex-Tottenham manager.
Yeah.
Did you actually ever see any of the Pochettino style at Chelsea?
I think maybe you could. Maybe that. I think I think he was starting to make a difference. I think the results also proved that. I think he was starting to make a difference. I think they were starting to play more for him. I don't know. I've got a couple of Chelsea mates who more or less told me that as you said earlier, like that he'd have to literally move mountains for them to support him. So automatically they weren't really playing for him, I think, until maybe near the end of the season. I mean, like Jeremy Rabbit says, they weren't really 100% into it, but I saw little signs. I admit I think next season they would have actually progressed. So it is very confusing to me, dude. I think that they would have been certainly on for top 4 or roundabout. They would have been fighting for top 4 next year, I think. So
it's such a weird one because, like I said, this has come out of nowhere. Normally, you hear little rumblings here and there, and this is just literally just shot out of nowhere. Leah's saying
also, Com, if they would have had a half, Jackson's not the best striker in the world. If they would have fixed that gap last season, they could have been easily been 4th, other than Villa. You know.
Oh yeah. I mean,
they fluffed so many chances throughout the whole year.
Yeah, so. If they had a striker, God, if Chelsea had a striker, they'd be a dangerous team. They really would.
100%.
Leah's saying here, would point out Potch had a squad. They just spent $1 billion on Colin, but you make a good point. No questions, Potch was turning things around at Chelsea. I think he was 100%. Even the fans admitted that the Chelsea are finally starting to look a very good team. Gerard O'Connor, big up Gerard, is saying happy days for Potch. The till is jangling money for old rope. Okay. Chelsea win the entire season without a proper striker. Yeah, we just said that then. A third outing for the special one at the bridge. I don't think so. Like I said,
lots of the fans want him back, Com.
Yeah, I know, but Todd doesn't. From what I know, Todd Bowley does not want him back. No, they're wanting somebody young, but obviously somebody that's got a bit of a pedigree. But it's got to be somebody that's got a bit of a pedigree already. So I don't know. There's not many out there to be.
I was about to say who's around, who's actually around at the minute that fits that.
This is what I mean. There's not a lot out there. I mean, I think Todd's going to have a harder time replacing Potch than what he thinks he is.
Unless he's already done the deal, but who knows? Maybe he's already done the deal.
Unless he has. It took Potch 6 months before Spurs started looking like a team. Again, I'll have to pass that over to you, Tequila.
No, it's fair. Yeah. It wasn't overnight. But there was little signs quite quickly, but it took a while for it to get to the crescendo that it was.
I mean, you got you so close to silverware as well.
Yeah, it's like Dermo, bless him. Dermo calls him a loser, and it's just like I can't call him a loser. I know. Technically he isn't, but he's not a loser. You can't. That's too harsh a criticism. Dermo doesn't agree with me, but he's not a loser. He's certainly not a loser manager.
No, I don't think he's. I don't think you can class him as a loser.
No.
He's just a bridesmaid, is what I call him.
Listen, nobody's got as close to glory as Pochettino has in nearly all my existence as a Spurs fan. So I can't call him a loser, dude.
Poch is set for life.
Yeah.
Poch for Gold Trafford. No. No, not a chance. Ineos do not want Pochettino. I know that for a fact.
You not think though he'd be good though with all your young players you've got, like an Ancho?
No, I don't want him. I don't want him.
Okay.
No, I'd rather stick with Ten Hag. And I'm Ten Hag out. No, I'd rather stick with Ten Hag. Pochettino would be a good manager, but with the state that Manchester United is in at the moment, it'd just be Chelsea all over again.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Are you ready for? Is your fan base ready for kind of another project manager? Because that's kind of what Pochettino was known as a project manager, and he had a decent amount of time at Spurs, at least considering how long most of our managers get.
Yeah,
he was the only Spurs manager to actually get offered a new contract by Daniel Levy. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like going back, I don't want to make it about Manchester United because obviously I've got my own channel for that. When it got announced Potch and Ten Hag was in the running, the fans was very anti-Potch. The press was very pro-Potch. But the fans didn't want him. And I don't think it'll have changed now, especially since he's been at Chelsea and failed.
Why were the fans so against him, do you think?
The fans were against him because, obviously, he was at Tottenham, didn't succeed. Went to a PSG, which is a one-league team, didn't succeed. You know, and I think that is the reason why fans don't want him. And now that I've seen him not succeed at Chelsea as well, I mean, it's not always his fault.
He's got. I guess he's kind of gotten that reputation now. That's going to be hard for him to shake. Well, the only way to shake it is to actually win something. So,
yeah, but I mean, where's he go?
I don't know.
You know, where's he go to win something? I'm just trying to see where is it? I don't know. Do you want to take over some of these comments? If you
Where
can?
are you up to, mate?
Giant Rabbit just saying Todd Bowley, this one. That's highlighted at the minute.
Yeah, let me scroll up a bit. I'll start it from this one plus Chelsea.
I'm just trying to see if I can get any more information.
1 sec, let me find where we are. There's lots of mentions of Todd Bowley. Where are you? Yeah, Giant Rabbit. Yeah, Todd Bowley signed way too many young, inexperienced players. He hasn't a clue. Well, no, I would imagine that's why you hire. That's why you delegate football people, so that you as a businessman shouldn't be making any football decisions. Just like Levy shouldn't for us. It's the same kind of thing, really. Like that's why you delegate football people. Giant Rabbit saying here, and easy way to make 17 million. Yeah, I think most of us here would more than like to make 17 million for 9 months worth of work. I think that would be pretty cool.
It'd be great.
Yeah, won't see any of us again afterwards. Chris at Meta Football TV saying, never call out the board, you'll get a plank in the face. You're not wrong. Even Conte did that. Giant Rabbit, no, they still weren't playing his style. That's, I think, to do with if Chelsea were adopting his style. No, I kind of agree. They weren't yet, but I saw a couple of signs that maybe they would have, maybe next year. Chris Peters is saying to Chris, hi Chris, hope you're well, mate. Sorry. Giant Rabbit saying, Posh was trying to find the right formation where the players were most comfortable in. Yeah, he was still experimenting. He hadn't really figured it out yet. Meta Football TV is talking to Chris Peters. Chris Peters is saying, Poch should have been given time. Yep. Too many young new players. Chelsea are always a mess. Yeah, they flip managers even faster than we do, Chris. Like flipping burgers, isn't it? Meta Football TV, Bowley will end up signing the 49ers defensive coach. Twat. I don't follow American football, Calm. I don't know if you do.
No, I don't.
How bad 49ers are.
I've got no idea.
Lee Richards is saying, I know Talksport not the most reliable source, but the Chelsea calling in tonight saying they want Tuchel back. Some of them, I believe, probably would, but some of them I've heard, some of my mates I know in real life, they want Jose back. So it's going to be divided just like other clubs.
Sorry, because I'm going to divide the Tottenham fan base shortly. Don't worry about it.
We don't need your help, Cole. Were you not watching last? Haven't you watched the last two back?
I've got my wooden spoon out and I'm steering.
You stir that pot.
I'm steering.
Giant Rabbit saying Potch was brilliant at Spurs and he was never back properly, like the elite managers are backed. Especially over that year or so, which we didn't buy anyone. That was certainly a telling moment, I think, where we needed that extra investment to at least maintain where we were, and we just kind of let other clubs catch up, and we didn't spend the money. But there we are. Chris Peters is saying, I think next season Palace will be a team to watch out for. They keep their best players. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If they keep their best players, and I'm not being funny, but there's been so many rumours, especially about like Elise and Eze. I'll be shocked.
Elise will be going.
Elise, I'll be shocked if both of them are at Palace. They'll have a lot of money to spend, but
yeah, I know Elise is going because clubs are going to be triggering his £60 million release clause.
Is that all he's got? Is a 60 million?
Yeah, it's just 60 million. So he's going to be gone. Yeah. And Tyree Mitchell will also be going.
The left back, yeah, he's a good player.
Yes. Arsenal are currently touting him up at the moment.
Good signing for them.
But it's obviously Spurs are looking at Elise. at the moment, but they are in competition with Manchester United at the same time. So we don't know what's going to happen there. Other clubs are looking at him as well, to be fair, but
I'll take Elise in a heartbeat. I don't know, especially for that money.
Yeah, I'd take him. I'd take him every day of the week.
Okay, a couple more comments. Giant Rabbit here. How can you sack a manager with a 13 game unbeaten run? Almost Pippin Spurs in 5th place with a I mean that's what I mean. Exactly. You look at the last half a season of his results. I mean, they were one of the most formed teams in the Premiership. So you might as well have sacked him. If 6 wasn't going to be good enough, you might as well have sacked him after like the first 15 games. Metal Football TV saying Potch back as set piece coach at Spurs. Defensive set piece coach only.
Would you take him?
Well, as a coach, I don't know. Yeah. Most of the players he was mates with, like Dyer and Kane and everything like that, they've all gone, mate. So most of his mates has left. So I don't know. Wonder where he ends up next, though. Giant Rabbit, Potch did a much better job than Ten Hag, for fuck's sake. Oh, sorry to call him. FFS.
Oh, you can swear for me, mate. I don't care.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't want to monetize it. It just popped out. It just
It's fine. You get as long as I think it works out as long as you don't swear the first 10 minutes or
first minute. Like 10 minutes.
Something like that. You're fine.
What he did at Spurs was amazing with a very weak squad of players. I mean, he did really well at Tottenham. I don't think anyone can really say that he didn't. I think Dermo's just I don't know why Dermo goes on a loser. Don't know.
We'll ask him when he's back.
We'll ask him next time, when he comes back. See what else we got here. I
do want to bring this one up here by Louis, because I have had a look and I have got some back. So Thomas Frank among names mentioned internally, also Kieran McKenna, but still open. Seb Ho, highly rated but fully focused on Stuttgart. There is also Enzo Marcia. He is also being linked to the job at the moment, Leicester City coach.
How about this one, Cole? What if Bowley being what he's like and the way he loves to throw his money around, what if he went to Xavier Alonso and said, look, you don't want to take the Liverpool job just yet, right? Because Klopp's just gone. But how about you come over to Chelsea in the capital? We'll pay you God loads amount of money. You can learn the Premiership for a couple of years and then go to Liverpool later on. What do you reckon?
I don't think he'll take it. I think Xavi Alonso's done the right choice of staying where he is, because then he can progress on what he's done this year, and then maybe a year's time he'll come to the Premier League. I think he's been very, very smart about it, to be fair. I don't think. I mean, I could be proven wrong. I'd love to see Alonso in the Premier League. I think he'd do fantastic, but
you just wonder how much money, and we know that with most things, eventually money talks and BS walks. So, if he offered him enough, do you think? Could be persuaded?
Possibility. Chris is saying, Meta TV, when you post to YouTube again, you're so knowledgeable about football in Europe. Love to see more on your thoughts on who you think we should be buying in the summer, especially strikers. I know exactly who you're targeting this summer for the striking positions, but that is for another show. Because we've been going for nearly an hour on this already. Chris Peters, you think? Well, not sure. Before giving it up, to be honest, don't give it up, mate. Do not give it up. No, keep it going.
Listen, Chris, you're a very knowledgeable guy with football. And if you're thinking of quitting because of a couple of arguments with people, just ignore him, bro.
Just ignore him. Send them my way if you're having arguments with them.
Calm will take care of them. Yeah.
I take no prisoners, mate. I will sort them out. Not an issue. Chris Peters is saying here, France under 17s 0, England under 17s 4. Mikey Moore scored 2 goals. Congratulations to the England under 17s. Yeah. I'm Irish, so I don't really care. I'm Irish until Euros. So
you're Irish until the Euros, yeah, mate.
Sorting some things out. He's just talking to Chris there. If Potch has any sense, he'll go to Brighton, could really rebuild his career again there. He could do, but will Brighton take him?
I think Brighton would take him, and also because I think he wants to stay in London, doesn't he? I think that's one reason he took the Chelsea job, to be honest, because he wanted to stay back in London with his family, and it's like, you know, what options are there? So he could commute to Brighton. It's not that far. Yeah.
Yep. Well, Neil Shafton saying, who in their right mind would even want to deal with the mess that Bowley's created at Chelsea? It's a no-win situation. I don't think Chelsea is going to be very stable until Bowley is gone. Well, I don't think they will, to be fair, at all. Bowley is a nightmare. A proper nightmare. I know people that talk with him and deal with him, and yeah, he's a proper nightmare.
Really?
Yeah. They don't like dealing with him at all. Louis is saying, I would like Tony as a striker. Well, keep an eye on the Tony situation. That's all I'm going to say to you guys. Is just keep an eye on it. Don't give up, Chris. You're one of the ones that talks sense. I mean, I don't. Do you talk sense to kill? Because I don't.
I don't know about talking sense. I said he was knowledgeable at football. I never said anything about talking sense.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. We never talk sense. What's going on here?
Those two things can be very different.
Very different. I mean, we've got Dermo on this channel.
Yeah, exactly.
That says everything. And View on Spurs is saying, can't help but feel Potch really messed up his Spurs connection for 11 months of crap at Chelsea.
Yeah. I feel the same way. It's kind of like, was it worth it? I mean, he got 17 million, so to be honest, it probably was. I mean, if you offered that to me,
oh yeah, if you offered it to me, I'd snap your hand up, 100%. So I did say I was going to stir the pot a little bit here.
Go on then. There we go. You stir it up.
So I am going to stir it up. I have obviously been looking through the wonderful social media platform that is X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. And one of the most popular things in regards to Pochettino at the minute is Tottenham fans asking for him to come back and shouting to the rooftops at Daniel Levy to get him in to replace Ange Postecoglou. And that's coming perfectly because Lewis just said there, would you take Potch back if Ange left?
If Ange left or if Ange was sacked, there's actually a difference. If Ange left by his own accord because of Levy wasn't going to back him. You know what? I would have. I'll be honest. Before he went to Chelsea, I did want him over Postecoglou because I didn't know much about Ange. So I would have taken him back last year. But there's something about how Ange carries himself. And it's more about how he carries himself than even his football, because I don't think Ange's football has been that amazing this year. It's been all right. Don't get me wrong. Better than Conte, better than Jose. But I haven't been like gobsmacked by our play. But I love how Ange carries himself so much, how he deals with stuff. And I actually believe what he says, that Pochettino was a little bit of a yes man. That I think was a valid criticism. He was a little bit of a yes man. So to have him back now, I personally wouldn't. But if something were to happen to Ange, he'd probably do a lot worse than Pochettino coming back. But I wouldn't take him at the to sacrifice Ange for him. No, I wouldn't do that. That makes sense.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I don't think the thing is with me. You never go backwards. That's my thing. You never go backwards.
I agree, but one thing I will say is, I joked about it last year, is that the only evidence so far of anyone being able to kind of get on with Daniel Levy and Enoch and how they run the club, the one who did the best under that framework was by far Pochettino, because I mean, Jesus, Colin, Ange is the first manager in years and years to actually survive a full season with Spurs since Pochettino. Nobody else has survived the full season. He's the first one to do it. So that just says to me is that Pochettino obviously worked really well with Levy and how they do it. Obviously, he worked really well in that system more than anyone else has. So that's a big selling point for me, because at least we know that he generally worked in that system for a long time and was good at it. Whereas everyone else just falls out with the board or whatever within 18 months and then we move on. So difficult one. I still wouldn't sacrifice him for Ange. No, not right now. Have to see in the future, I guess.
Yeah, well, you never know what's going to happen in the future, do we? I mean, I don't know how long I can keep going on for about Potch. I mean, there's nothing else to really discuss. Nothing else is coming out at the moment either. So
me and Dermo, obviously, we were going to do something on England tonight. We got obviously regarding the England squad announcements. Do you have any thoughts on that off the top of your head, Colm?
Not to be honest with you, no. I've not even seen the team. International football is not my thing.
I'm not that big into it either, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Let's have a look. I've just actually seen the squad now. Kobe Mainu, Declan Rice.
There's no Rashford in it, by the way, which
thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
There's no Henderson either. There's no Jordan Henderson, which I think shocked a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's about time Jordan Henderson doesn't play. Any surprises?
The kid from Palace, the midfielder.
Adam Wharton.
That's it. Yeah, he got in.
Yeah. He did.
So that was, yeah.
He did, yeah. Did Potch get sacked? It was reported that he was sacked, but apparently more reports have come out, and Chelsea have come out and said things as well. They've agreed to part ways, mutual terms, apparently. So mutual consent. So I am going to change the thumbnails and everything. Obviously, when the news came out, it came up saying Potch sacked. So I just threw a thumbnail together and everything like that. It will all be changed in regards to it. I have already changed the title of the stream as well to Potch leaves Chelsea. I don't want to clickbait anybody. That's not what we do here. We're trying to be a reputable. I can't even speak. We're trying to get a good reputation, and obviously not getting clickbait, because we don't do that on any of the channels here. So yeah. No, I don't care about England. I'm not gonna lie. I really, really don't.
I mean, I'll watch the games. I think Dermo's going to cover some of that. I don't know if you're going to be involved, but I'll watch.
Yeah.
The games more. I don't think I'm going to watch every single game. I don't think I'm going to watch every single game, but
yeah, I'm not going to watch every single game. I'll watch the odd one or two when I can, but we'll see.
I watch the England ones. I watch the Scotland ones because I'm half Scottish. So.
Apparently Chelsea have not been in contact with any other manager at the moment. Chelsea want a manager who has an attacking identity and obsessed with possession and controlling games. Okay, fair enough. Good luck with that, because there's nobody really out there. But yeah, so I'm going to end it here. We've been going just for over an hour. Dermo will be back hopefully tomorrow. I'm sure he'll have his say on the whole Pochettino thing.
I don't know if we're going to do the England thing tomorrow. I'll talk with Dermo, because we were, like I say, we were meant to do the England stuff tonight. I'll talk to him and see what he wants to do.
Yeah. So, thank you for the subscribe as well. I noticed we've got another one. So thank you. We are on our way to 1,000 on the Full Time Sports Network. Make sure you do like and subscribe on the Full Time Sports Network here on THFC Till I Die. And if you want to hear me ramble on about Manchester United and all their transfer dealings they're going to be doing, make sure to go check out MUFC Spotlight. That's my other channel. All Manchester United news there.
Can I plug mine as well then?
Of course you can. Tequila, go.
Yeah, you can find me on the THFC Till I Die with Dermo and the gang. And I do have my own little gaming podcast channel where we just talk about the gaming industry and stuff like that, and that's just at the Play Pouch. That's the name of it. So any new subs will be grateful. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for having me again, Com. And
it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Always a pleasure talking with you, Tequila. So yeah, Dermo's going to be back again hopefully tomorrow. Normal service will be resumed on THFC Till I Die. Sorry, your channel's been taken over by a Manchester United fan today, but honest, I'm a good one. I'm not deluded.
Many worse than you, Com. Many worse.
Yeah, yeah, it could be worse. You could have a City fan on here. That's all I'm going to say, or an Arsenal fan. Exactly. That's no dig on Bobby. Promise. Also. go over and check out Dermo's and myself's gaming channel. We have had Tequila and Play Pouch guys on for a podcast that is up on there, and it is Double Dum Gaming. Go check that out as well. But thank you everybody for tuning in. Like I said, normal service will be resumed very, very shortly, and I hope you all have a great night. As soon as we get more information, we will bring it to you as fast as we can. But until next time, guys, thank you very much. Good night.